Hello. Hello. Welcome to you. My name is Lisa Schrader, and I'm the founder of Awakening Shakti. I'd love to just begin our time together by closing our eyes for a few moments and doing some of the practices that we've been engaged in for the last week or so together. So, the first one, if you remember, was about adoring our bodies. So I want to just invite you, you can keep your eyes open or closed, but just to take some big resourced breaths with me up through the root system into the heart, just exhaling, and just some deepening breaths so that you can signal to your soft animal body that it's in this moment time to breathe and to remember that you have a body. Maybe you've been running and demands of us so often. And so, in these moments that we have together, just taking those deep breaths into the body, letting your belly soften. Noticing in particular if you're holding any tension or tightness, which we do so unconsciously, down in the root system of us, in the perineum area, in the yoni, in the butt, in the anus, in the hips, in the belly, and with some more attention with those deepening breaths, just really signaling to your body that it's okay, if this is true for you, to just relax and feel yourself being held. You could feel yourself being held by Mother Earth. I am standing today, and so I'm feeling my feet on the ground. Well, I'm actually wearing some little slippers, so I'm going to take those off so I can really spread my feet. And maybe you're sitting right now, and so maybe you can just really let the seat of you connect with your own root system. Just like we have this beautiful painting of a tree as part of our sacred visual space together. And see if you can feel those roots going down and the breath deepening and slowing as you just take a few moments to communicate with your animal body. Maybe your gratitude, your appreciation, a chance to just check in with your muscles and your bones and the systems inside of you, just to see how you're doing in this moment. And giving a little touch to the body as well. Maybe you want to just place your hands on your head, give yourself a little massage with your hands on your shoulders, on your breasts or your belly, or particularly your low back and your hips. Just welcoming yourself to this moment where you're being supported by the earth. You're remembering that you're feeling supported by this attention that you're offering to your own body. And just a reminder that wherever you are in this moment of time, you have thousands of other women who are also part of this circle and leaning into these practices. And so remembering that you can draw resource from that community and that connection. And what a blessing that is. And now just moving our attention to the heart, taking some deep breaths, particularly right into your heart center, into your lungs, allowing the heart to open in the front and then also in the back. Remember that we have in the back of us our heart space. And so just letting the wings of you maybe open, bringing some breath to the heart. This in this teaching of our Being a Resourced Woman online oasis, we were talking about replenishing the heart. And so as you take some breaths here in the heart, just attuning just for a few moments to what's moving in your own heart right now, dear sister. Just giving a little bit of a green light, if you can, to whatever the emotional state is that you find yourself in. You can even share about that in the chat. It's so beautiful to see many of you writing in already. Now let us just hold space for the joy, the ecstasy, maybe the contentment, the happiness, the sense of fulfillment. Let us also hold space for those what we might call more neutral places where we just don't really know how we feel, or things are boring or kind of mundane. And let us also hold space for the intense movements that might be going through the heart. Our anger, our fear, our sadness, maybe are in a real unraveling right now emotionally. And just connecting with this capacity that we have to feel the fullness of that. Let us also remember that very often we're feeling multiple feelings at the same time, right? We might be laughing humorously at the same time that we're completely irritated and annoyed. This morning I was cooking eggs and I cracked the egg, and as I was moving it over to the frying pan, it just kind of went all over. I'm not even sure what happened. And the egg dripped into each and every nook and cranny of, the entire set of drawers all the way down to the ground. It was a complete mess. And you couldn't even wipe it down. You had to pull every drawer. And I was like, really? I'm dealing with this right now? I got a big day. And so I was irritated, and then I just had to laugh. I'm like, yeah, of course this is happening, right? Another moment to be present, another moment to just get right here, right now, with the egg dripping all over the place. That quality of paradox is an aspect of our Shakti, particularly around our emotional life. So we can replenish our hearts by making room in our own life and with each other for this movement, right? This movement. Remember here we worked with water, right? The constant flow and emotion and the water element. So here as we're joining together, just feeling fullness of your breath right there in the heart. And then drawing some breath, maybe it's all the way up to the crown of your head, or maybe it's all the way down into your roots, but connecting with this third aspect that we've been working with, which is our soul, our sacredness, our spirit. And so taking some breath and bringing some attention to however you orient towards soul and what is sacred for you in this moment. In this moment, giving some breath, some attention, some gratitude to the soul that is you, the one who is witnessing and watching and guiding, and right there with her hand gently on your back and maybe gently on your womb, just reminding you who you are, that you are having a human experience, of course, and it's real and it's alive, but that is not all of who you are. And so taking a breath into that as well. If you've had your eyes closed, I invite you to open them and just come back to presence with us here. And I wanted to just share this painting with you that's called The Woman Tree. It felt really important as I was thinking about what to bring to you in this closing ceremony. She really wanted to be with us. She said, "Get me off the wall and get me somehow into this circle." So, just to give us a little review, which we've already done one time, but let's do it again, because this is really the core of what I have to offer you in all of my teachings, but certainly has been the foundation and the backbone of this online oasis. It is our connection to our root system, which I think of as the body, right? Our humanness, our soft animalness. And we began by adoring the body and attending to the soft animal of us, and particularly what she loves and what she needs, right? And this being present to how cut off we are and encouraged to be cut off, to live up in the head rather than to be grounded and connected and in the body. I believe this is an epidemic on the planet right now of people who are actually not in the body of themselves, not connected to the heart of themselves, but up here in the mind, which is a very valuable tool, of course. We love that part of ourselves, but it was never designed to make all of the decisions and figure everything out by itself. Very much love this quaternity model of air in conjunction, one element out of the four, air in conjunction with earth, the body, and water, the heart, our emotional system, our intuitive system, and fire, the soul, the spirit. And so as we adore the body, as we've been exploring that together, what we're really doing is we're bringing the earth of us back into balance, hopefully, and greater harmony with this element of the mind, of the air. I'm grateful to Carla McLaren's beautiful work in The Language of Emotions. That's where I first learned about this quaternity model that's actually quite ancient and very, very old. So I'm just offering that to you. Next, we moved into the water element, where we talked about replenishing the heart, working with our feeling life, honoring that we are the source of love. We are the source of love, and that the more we can find our connection to our own hearts, right? And there's so many different ways that we can do that and prioritize that. Honoring our feeling life is one really good way to do that, and a really good place to start. But as we do that, we reconnect, we remember that, oh yeah, we are the source of love. And the more that we source love internally, and start to shift these, ways that we beat up ourselves about our emotions or beat up ourselves about our body, and soften that and just move a little bit more towards acceptance and loving of the body, then we have that love to give. And it comes back 100-fold, 1,000-fold to us, right? So we really looked here at what does it mean to replenish our hearts? And then the third teaching that we've been exploring in our online oasis has been about, it's called Satiate the Soul. Satiate the Soul. And that's where we really asked ourselves, hopefully, some questions, or we're beginning to ask ourselves some questions about how do I prioritize whatever it is that is sacred to me and invoke the sacred and honor myself as a soul with whatever the spiritual practice is that brings me pleasure and helps me feel connected. So these three, adoring the body, replenishing the heart, and satiating the soul, the body, the heart, and the soul have really been what we've been exploring and what has been on offer to you. And so it is. Dear women, thank you so much for showing up exactly how you did and being part of our Resourced Woman online oasis. You may remember in our opening ceremony, we lit this candle to open our sacred circle and guide us on our way. And I'm going to, in closing, extinguish this candle and ask that we all breathe this light that we have created together, this love, this inquiry that we've been in. We just take the light of that into our own bodies and hearts and souls together, and that we share the abundance, the gifts of what we have received for the highest and best good of ourselves and all of our beloveds and all of the sacred creatures and beings on this beautiful, beautiful, blessed earth. And so it is. Thank you so much for being with me today.